Hello, my name is Elena. Today I will be analyzing a piece from the novel 1984 by George Orwell. During this time, I will analyze the passage pulled from the context. But first, I will provide background information on George Orwell. He was born in Bengal and educated at Eton. He returned to Europe to write novels and essays. He was a political writer who provided his attention to himself. He was a man with deep feelings and strong hatred. He was a loyalist in the Spanish Civil War because he did not agree on totalitarianism. 1984 is a remarkable novel on political prophecy. The extract shows the attitude of Winston by starting off with how Winston was shocked with O'Brien beginning to talk to him. He also felt uncomfortable talking about his friend who was no more, such as when it says, "It was inconceivable that this was anything other than reference to San. But San was not only dead, he was abolished, an unperson. Any identifiable reference to him would have been mortally dangerous." So this would have been dangerous. It would have been very dangerous to mention Sam's name, especially since Winston was thinking about him, which is a thought crime. But when he found out that O'Brien was against the party as well as him, he was very excited or relieved, such as when he said, when O'Brien was talking about how the 10th dictionary was if he wanted to look at the 10th dictionary, and then Winston replied, "Very much so." Immediately, he said that immediately because he knew where the conversation was planning to go. Secondly, the use of diction helps create tension in the passage. The words used are abolished, identifiable reference, obsolete, instrument, and memory hole. So abolished was used when he said, "But Sam was not only dead, he was abolished." So Sam was destroyed. There was no more of Sam. He was gone forever, and he was thrown into like the memory hole, which is where everything that is no more goes to, like when everything that's not true and what they believe is untrue goes. Identifiable reference is used when any identifiable reference to him would have been mortally dangerous. So if he mentioned Sign's name at all, people would think that he still remembered him, and they would think that he wasn't as brainwashed as he should have been. So they would have gone like, "Oh, he's different, he's becoming normal," and which would have been dangerous for Winston's life. Obsolete is used when O'Brien noticed that Winston used two words that had been destroyed. So obsolete means that the words are no more. They're gone. They're supposed to be gone, but yet, they're actually not. Sorry, I lied. They're not gone. They're new, but they are in the 10th edition. But Winston and his department uses the 9th edition. So O'Brien was curious on how Winston knew those words. Instrument is used when instead of saying instrument is used when it says immediately beneath the telescreen in such a position that anyone who is watching at the other end of the instrument could read what he was writing. So instead of saying telescreen or TV, they use instrument, which is funny or interesting because it means that instrument, like, it's not really a TV because it doesn't show the shows that you watch. It's an instrument because people are watching you and they hear what you're saying. They know everything you do. The setting is revealed in the abstract by showing exactly where they were. When it says they were standing in front of the telescreen. Immediately beneath the telescreen in such a position that anyone who is watching at the other end of the instrument could read what he was writing. He scribbled an address, tore out a page, and handed it to Winston. The telescreen could see and hear everything. So it is interesting that O'Brien wrote his address in front of the TV. It foreshadows the event when Winston is captured because he has committed a crime, and it turns out that O'Brien is part of the thought police. So Winston has already committed a crime, the thought crime, in remembering Sign. And Winston believes O'Brien is with him. He thinks he's part of the Brotherhood, but it ends up with O'Brien being a thought police. He was undercover. O'Brien tortures Winston into believing that he did do the crimes that he's accused of, such as thought crimes. Big Brother is real. He sees all. So instead of Big Brother just wanting Winston to believe that he did because Winston just said, "Okay, I did it," but O'Brien didn't want him to just say that he did it. He wanted him to believe it. So he kept torturing him until Winston believed that he did them. The central ideas of the works are conveyed through the extract by proving to the readers that there are people against Big Brother. In other words, the Brotherhood. So the Brotherhood is what's against Big Brother. O'Brien and Winston prove this to us by committing thought crimes and talking about how someone who has been abolished, such as Sign. So it's a secret, or they're not supposed to be talking about Simon in the first place. The extract is central to the structure of the plot because Winston realizes that O'Brien is part of the Brotherhood, which starts him planning ideas against Big Brother. So they start talking about how they're going against Big Brother, and they start making plans to become more free, to get rid of Big Brother. This is the end of my thing.